What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah. If you haven't read the title of the episode, you should know, man, this is all about why Dr. Roto. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by why Dr. Roto?
Well, it's a little simple, huh? Yeah, the macho man and a little bit of things, huh?
No, that's not why Dr. Roto. So this whole episode is going to be about why you should use and be part of a fantasy service. Everybody thinks, and I did too for a long time in fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball. I thought I knew it all. And for the most part, everybody has about as much information and as much access to that information, sports knowledge, and all that stuff, like anybody else. So a lot of people can really pull a lot of information from the internet, statistics. We could be talking about strikeouts. We could be talking about air yards, even though I don't care about air yards. Look, the only people talking about air yards are the people who don't watch football games. Okay. If you're watching a football game and you have to highlight how many air yards was missed, I don't care how many air yards was missed because it's just like counting penalties when they take away your touchdown, when they take away your yards. It doesn't make a difference. Are we counting penalty yards against? Are we doing that, people? I don't think so. So, with that being said, I wanted to make sure that everybody knew what they were getting into and why this is important. So, over the years, of course, I got better at many different sports, football and baseball being my one and two. And it was through hard work and preservation. But also, everybody plays the same. So when you play the same as everybody else, when you go to the store and you purchase a magazine, and with that magazine, you make the same picks that everybody else is making, then you need help. And I'm sorry, a lot of those magazines are printed anywhere from April, May, and June. You can't use them in August. There's injuries that happen. There's trades that can still happen. There's people that retire out of nowhere. I mean, Andrew Luck literally retired when someone picked him. And I'm like, yo, before it even got announced, live during a draft, I'm like, ha. And they're like, why you laughing, Rob? Why you laughing, Heat Override? And I said, because he just picked Andrew Luck a couple picks ago, and Luck just retired. So, again, a magazine will only get you so far. So, you could go online, you can use apps that can help you draft and do that. Look, I've done it all, draft wizards, all that stuff. I've tried it all just to kind of like dab into it, see if it made you a little more aggressive towards, that type of league. Sorry about that. And so for me, when you take those leagues and you put them together at the same time, you literally get that scoring. And when you get that scoring and you know you're scoring and the app is doing that for you, then it allows you to make those picks. However, that doesn't always work for everybody. Look, why I'm here and why I'm talking about this podcast and why it seems like I might be just running in a few circles is because when you have content like NFL content, MLB content, NBA content, NHL content, college basketball and football content, among golf content as well, and everything else, when you handle all this, you have to have a team. And sometimes team members, sometimes other people want to try other sports. How do you try another sport when you've been playing fantasy football all your life? That's why a fantasy service like Dr. Roto is important. So when you get that service and you pay either a yearly fee or a monthly fee, you also get access to other things like optimizers, cheat sheets, rankings, and wide receiver versus defensive back. You get defensive line matchups. I'm the IDP hero. So all year last year, all I did was give out bangers for picks. And then I turned it in my DFS article, the Ultra Contrarian Show. That show right there I gave out every single lineup all year long, one lineup for each site. and a lot of them smashed. I'm telling you, it's over 95% at least. I think like of the whole year, and that's like I did it all the way to the Super Bowl, all the way on both sites. And literally, I think I might have lost 5 or 6 weeks. No, it was less than, yeah, I was like that. Overall, I don't think I really lost many weeks on DraftKings. And FanDuel, there was a couple weeks but with that same going, what I do is I use a lineup. I make a lineup off my Macho Pick of the Week that I release on my hit episode of Bring the Pain that airs before the Ultra Contrarian show. And what I do with that is I build that team around that guy, and I make those teams almost identical for both sites, and they score. How do I do it? I do it not because of the numbers, not because of analytics, not because of any of that. I do it because when you're around this industry for a long time, when you're dabbling in this site and that site, everything becomes second nature. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, if you don't use analytics, heat override, your stats aren't going to be there. And well, if that's true, then why did my article do better than practically all of the industry's articles last year? The Ultra Contrarian Show. Why did all of my cash lineups, hit cash all year long? Is it because I'm doing all this research? Well, yeah, of course I know. But it's also because I do a lot of the watching game. But that's the thing, is you just don't get access to just me. You get access to the man himself, the myth, the legend, Dr. Roto. And he gives you his visionary plays every single week for football, for baseball. He's giving it to you when he can, and he's talking about it. Lou has been on a lot this year, talking baseball, fab, pickups, seasonal, dynasty, of course, DFS and betting. And we didn't even talk about that, but we will at the end. And so, how can I convince somebody like you who's never wanted a service, who is probably already paying $200, $300, $400 a week, or that maybe some people do that with DFS, or maybe $1,000 for all your seasonal teams? Why? Because look, man, when you have around 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 teams to manage, you're putting your time in to every one of those lineups. You're putting all of your time in to set those lineups. Where does the time go that you have time to analyze? Of course, you're probably watching a lot of the football games, but that is why a service like Dr. Roto is so vital. Because sometimes when you need a start sit question, you have Danger and Dr. Roto in the morning, on Sunday, right before game lock, answering all your questions live. I have literally been answering questions for draft questions already this year. I have tons of dynasty leagues going on. I had a guy ask me tonight, right before I went to the dojo, who does he pick? Zach Moss or Blake Corum? It's a dynasty league. And I'm like, look, dude, you have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have Nick Chubb, but you don't have another running back. You need a running back right now. And he goes, but I like Corum. I said, but Corum has a lot in his way. So again, when you have an expert and you're talking about this, I'm telling you, you want to take Zach Moss in those leagues. I know that it's a dynasty league, but if you followed Kyren Williams and you've seen all the injuries, you've seen the explosiveness he has, and now the Rams are going to draft another running back, who says the Rams don't walk from Kyren Williams and he doesn't get a fair shake the rest of his career? Yet you drafted Kyren Williams, you drafted somebody like Blake Corum, who may be replaced. But right now, Zach Moss is a starter, and he could be replaced, right? But at the same time, you need to make that decision, and you need to make it on the fly. And somebody like me in the subs only Discord or anybody else that's available at that time will help you. That's why the subs only Discord is so vital. The bets and the DFS lineups I've been giving out in there, along with everybody else, has been just fire all season long. And I threw in almost 30,000 odds, and I came up one hit short in the subs only Discord, right? For the other parlay. So I had 2 of them in there. And then I'm throwing in bets, and I'm and Lou's sitting in there talking with the seasonal people while we're all getting this together. We're there for you. We're there to help you win your fantasy football championships and money. we're there to help you learn how to bankroll. Now, I understand that I say some weird, wild and crazy, outlandish things, but if you notice, I've actually been a little bit normal on this one. And that's because I really want you to come try Dr. Roto. Look, you can easily jump in, try the subs only Discord, use code word doc, get in there, talk to us, see what we're about. That's the magic in this business, is that it's more than just trying to win you money and trying to develop you as a fantasy player, because that's what happened with me ultimately. You know, I had my guys in my longest league when I call it my McDonald's league, because I've been in this league since 1994. It's a fantasy football league. And they said, boy, we remember when you used to go for all the big leagues. And these guys had just started the league. So it wasn't like they were all like experts. But I was like one of the kids in that. Everybody else was managers. I was just I was just a crew trainer. So they invited me to this league, and I'm still in that league to this day. But last year they go, we remember that, Rob, and you coming in and taking defenses early when you could have backups and stuff like that. And they go, we saw the method to your madness, but now we understand it. So yes, they were a part of me getting to this point. So, everybody like Jeff, Tom, Henry, Mike, everybody that's in that league. I mean, rest in peace, Raph, Steve, and now we have the sons. We have Josh, and that just joined, and we have Tom's son, Tyler that joined. So this is a tradition, and these people get better at fantasy football because they train. But having a service is like having your best friend at your back, but we're your best friend. Like we say, the office is open. Get out your insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open. Doc says it all the time. And he's saying that because he's ready to help you. He's ready. He's on Sirius XM Saturdays and Sundays. Tune in. He's there to make sure that you win. And I'm here along with Danger, Lou, Trevor, Cam. List goes on. I mean, man, we got Justin. We got Ken doing his bets, man. We have Mark. We have so many different people, man. We got Willie. We got Odell. And every one of us has our own techniques, and every one of us is from the past. We're all part of Doc's team for a reason. And that is why I made this podcast today, because I wanted to promote not only Dr. Roto, but why you need Dr. Roto. You need Dr. Roto because when you're busy with life, you could just go to the website, or you could just listen to my podcast, and you could put that in and you can win your money, and you can build your bankroll to take the chances at those big shot tournaments or that big parlay that you want instead of throwing 20 down or 40 down. Let's go 5 weeks of NFL at $5 double ups, and let's win you some money. So, right? And let's get you $50, and let's throw $50 on that parlay for that double touchdown you're looking for, using that profit boost. And next thing you know, boom, you got yourself a 3,000 odds. And now your $50 is just going through the roof, man. And you're making tons of money. That's what we want. That's what we want at Dr. Roto. And I can't stress it enough that being part of this industry has been awesome. When I went to the Fantasy Football Expo a couple of years ago, I was like, all right, this is cool. I'm literally around everybody that I listened to on the radio for years. And I'm like, should I be rubbing elbows with these people? And you know what set that off? When I was invited to the Scott Fish Bowl 11, and I got the KISS division, and I felt it was like sweet wine. I was like, man, I'm going to be the black diamond in this thing, because even though I'm part of Dr. Roto, I was in this to beat people, and I beat them. I was the first place division winner in the KISS division, more points, and I did it again without my first round pick and the third round reversal. And my first pick was Christian McCaffrey, right? So, of course, when I go on to the overtime, not having a lot of those players, of course, I had sustained injuries throughout the year. So when I got to the next part, where every team plays for themselves after you win your division and you get invited to the next level for the Scott Fish Bowl, then my team fell apart. There was nothing. They had a bad week. I had injuries. Things happen. That's in the past now. But I have not been invited back yet either. And that's kind of sad because I thought, the experts and people who won their divisions were actually going to be invited back. Unfortunately, I have to bring the pain about that. Yeah, I have it. And this year, all of it's going out. All of it's almost done. There's no spots left. And I don't care. I'm done. I already looked at it this way. I came in and I gloated and I said I was going to win the KISS division from day one. Even though I had one of the best fantasy football players in the world who works for CBS at the time, maybe still nowadays, beat him, beat the rest. And that says a lot because those are the people that I drafted against. And I called it from the go. And I did it because I had confidence. The only reason I have that confidence is because I have a team that not only backs me up, but I have a friend named Dr. Roto that sees everything in me the way he sees the greatness in all of our staff. And that is what we give you every single day, every single week when you're part of our team. And I cannot tell you, when I tell you subs only Discord, it's never going to end because that is where the true champions are made. Last year, when I'm sitting here helping these teams win their IDP leagues, believe me, they're in Roto IDP leagues with quarterbacks, wide receivers. I literally was the guy, the expert that was taking care of those teams. And those guys won championships. Some of those guys were back-to-back championships. And I've been getting our content from Dr. Roto all these years. Now, when you see that, all the numbers, you see the things, you see me running my mouth like always, going in to Scott Fishbowl, stomping out, taking it out, and then not getting invited back, only lets you know that you're on this planet for one reason, and that's to dominate the competition. That's to leave no one left behind. That's to make sure that your team is better than the rest. And I feel, I know, and I can prove that when you're part of Dr. Roto, you will win championships. Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. And always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah. Get the Doc Roto, code Roto Doc. Get you a percentage off your sub. Yeah.